This feels so weird. Okay, so it's currently the 31st of December, which means that I am not one of those girls who are like, in 2025 I'm gonna change myself, because I have one day left. And this is the start of my first vlog. Can you tell I've never done an intro in my entire life? Yeah, I should have scripted this. Did I? I did not. Who am I? Who am I? I'm a girl. My name is Stina. I'm from Sweden. Sandwiches. I study an art education to become an art teacher. So the purpose of these vlogs is kind of gonna be like, what's it like being an art student? What's it like trying to be a teacher in Sweden, actually? Okay, editor Stina here. So I did say that, but these first two vlogs is mostly gonna be when like I have part-time work over Christmas and some book talk. Ja, das ist alles for me for right now. Yeah, but today it's New Year's Eve. I'm also carrying this one gel nail hanging on by a thread into 2024, and that feels very safe. If anybody's ever like, oh, this is a Swedish breakfast, this is a Swedish breakfast, this is a Swedish breakfast. No. No. This is the Swedish breakfast experience. Bread and cheese. We're going on a trip to my favorite food store by New Year's Eve dinner. It's New Year's Eve, so I'm gonna color the top of my head more red. Yeah, because Christmas is over. I'm going to tone red. I use a color balm and I leave it on for too long. That's my secret. Getting the perfect shade of red. Yeah. I have to turn this off now. Okay, hear me out. I'm just coloring my eyebrows. Sen bara... Me when I go on vacation och sånt. Hur mycket hade vi kvar?
Den är snart full då, eller? Nej, det är typ
Nej, det är typ 1,5 timme kvar.
Vi ska lämna ringen fortfarande.
I'm getting too old. At the ripe age of 23, I'm done. That's why I do my skincare. Even after New Year's Eve, I stay on the grind of looking 35 when I'm 50. Look at that texture. New Year's Day. I have to study today.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Oh my god, my glasses are so dirty. Okay, so I don't really subscribe to the idea of like having a New Year's resolution. Never really done one, but this year I have like one goal, and that is actually finishing reading The Lord of the Rings. When I say that it has taken me 11 years to read the first two books, I'm not kidding. I started reading Lord of the Rings in Swedish when I was 12. And I finished reading the first book in Swedish, I think, in 2022. And then I read the second one in 2023. So it's only fitting that I actually finish.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
The third one in 2025. I mean, I think they're good, but it's hard to have the attention span for books from this time, I feel like. Just talking for the youth of nowadays, which I am still kind of a part of. But so this is like, I see it as a must, but I think on a larger scale, I want to read some more books this year as well, because I work in a bookstore. I like books. I think it's healthy to read, because otherwise you don't have anything like kind of counteracting that like short form content media that just sucks the brain out of you and has no purpose. So I really want to read a bit more, and I want to read more than just like my course literature, because I do study and I do read for that, but and I find the literature that we have for our studies is very interesting, but it's not relaxing. It's not something you do for fun at the end of the day. And yeah, as I said, I like reading. Actually, I remember I was speaking to a customer in the bookstore where I work, and I was like, I think I'm gonna try reading 12 books, like one book per month this year. And she was like, oh, set the goal to 6, and then you can't be like disappointed, and it's also easier to do. So I've compiled like almost 6 books now that I have at home, of which I haven't been able to read yet, that I'm gonna show you. So the one that I really also want to finish this year is the first trilogy of the Dune books. I have read Dune, like the one that they made the last 2 movies of, and I also read the second book, Dune Messiah, which I know a lot of people have different opinions on. I really liked it. It's a lot of politics, but this trilogy, I don't know if a lot of people know, but it's kind of like a criticism towards the colonial powers in the Middle East during however long that was, a long time. And kind of the looting and taking of natural resources and those conflicts. That's the basis for the Dune books, and I find that really interesting and also educative, because like you don't have to read like history literature to find out about history. Sometimes it's better packaged almost in a fictional form. That being said, fictional books don't replace non-fiction history literature and real life accounts. And also, Dune is by no means perfect, even though it has good intentions sometimes, but it's interesting to read. That's what I wanted to say. I've also heard that Children of Dune is supposedly the best, better than the first one also. So, this is The Ranger of Marsana by John Scobron. I actually started reading this book. I read 30 pages back in like 2021 or 2022. I don't know. It was just hard for me to read back then, and because I was working full time in a bookstore, and I was like, I don't want to hold a book on my free time. What do you mean? So, but yeah, I want to finish it so that I like didn't buy this for nothing. Okay, something more classic. It's a Roadside Picnic by Arkady and Boris Strugatsky. If anyone who ever sees this has seen the movie Stalker, the script is written by these two authors. I think they're brothers, and it's heavily inspired, a little bit tweaked from this book. And I loved that movie, and I thought the script was incredible. Like the way they talk, or what they talk about, is very philosophical and interesting. So I didn't know. I just picked it up because I was like, oh, it's one of those books that you should have read. I mean, it's a science fiction classic, but I didn't know that I would be this interested in reading it after seeing the movie, because I didn't know that the movie was based on this book. Another book that's been adapted. I mean, I love Blade Runner. I just made a custom t-shirt from bleach art and textile paint for my boyfriend with the movie poster from the first one. And I don't think a lot of people know that Blade Runner is based on a novel. It's Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Should I be like talking about what they are about? Is something I realize now. I mean, a lot of people have seen Blade Runner, but it's basically about like, he's a cop. He hunts for androids who have gotten sentient to a point where they can pose a threat to people. Find rogue androids and retire them, it says on the backside. But I think Lord of the Rings people get now. People kind of get what Dune is all about. I mean, Roadside Picnic. So this is basically about a place called the Zone, where like the laws of physics don't apply, and the main character, Red Shoeheart, is a stalker, which is the person that goes into the zone and takes people there. I don't actually know more about what this is about. I have no idea what this is about, so that's nice. I can talk about the book that I'm reading right now as well. This is the third book of Devabad trilogy. So this is a trilogy about a girl named Nari who finds out she has like magical blood. It's pretty standard fantasy, like, oh, a corrupt kingdom and this girl, and she's gonna change it all. That's basically it. But it's about I mean, he has oh, I know the word in Swedish but not in English. Inslag. Aspects of both like Middle Eastern and Asian mythology. So for me that was like something different, because usually it's very fantasy has been and is still pretty like a white genre, as with most book genres, unfortunately. But now that is kind of changing a little bit. So it's a really good book series, and I recommend it to people. Okay, last book I want to read. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna love this. Is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. It's so hyped. It's so book talk, and that's not usually my cup of tea. But some of my colleagues thinks it's great, so that says something at least. Yeah, so this is what I'm looking to do this year. I mean, it is manageable, and also like I'm planning to read one book per month, no matter how long it is. So this month is gonna be pretty chill. This month is gonna be harder. Wish me good luck. Now you may understand why it's hard to vlog outside in this country. So I'm going to work, and I'm going to get ready for work. So I'm gonna start out with my hair. Oh, that's way more nice. What the fuck? Okay, so today I'm thinking of doing my signature hairstyle, which is just these hair clips that match my hair color. And they keep the hair out of my face, which is very nice. So I think now I'm gonna wash my piercing, which is a navel piercing that's too old to still be this bad, but and moisturize my body. That's too scandalous. But I've been using this as my like only cream since I was like 15, so if I don't look 35 when I'm 50, I'm gonna be really mad. I gotta go. It's kind of these winter days that, you know, save us Swedes during the winter time, because it can be really dark, really gray, and really cold. Not today, well, it's cold today, but it's sunny outside. I mean, Hold up. Would you look at that? It's very pretty. I like it. Good soup. Good soup. So that was the end of part 1. Now please run as fast as you can over to part 2 because it's meant as an experience, you know. You wouldn't watch Dune part 1 without then watching Dune part 2. Same goes for here. I'll see you later.